Hi everyone, this is Claire. So I'm going to kind of try my best to explain how to release onto things that we are attached to. Because it's one thing, and I'm sure all of you have heard me say this before, but to release and let go of the outcome, it's one thing to say that. It's another thing entirely to actually do that. Because we hold on so tightly to these ideas and these feelings about life, and so to really let those go really kind of messes with our brain. So one of the things that I've had to deal with a lot in my life is gradual releasing. It doesn't mean that you all of a sudden wake up and bam, you understand how to let go. It's a gradual process, and I'm going to share some of the steps that worked for me. So I'm a very thinking person, and I like to really understand things and what does it all mean and why does it do this, and you know what I mean? So for me, the first step is really truly understand where my fear or attachment is coming from. We can't figure anything out, we can't feel anything unless, really not feel. We can't really get through any of the feelings unless we really understand what they are and what they're coming from. So you can be angry, but unless you really understand why you're angry and what it is you're angry about, that anger is not going to go anywhere. So for me, I will give you an example. I was terrified to go under anesthesia for so much of my life. I mean, surgeries are a part of my being, and yet it was terrifying because I had to let go and I had to release, and I didn't understand for the first 10 years of my life why it was so scary for me. I trusted my doctors and all of that, and it took me a while and a lot of work to realize what was at the very depth of it. Is I like to understand, I like to know, I like to be in control. And when you have to go under surgery, you have to totally release all of your control on everything. So that was the first step for me, to really understand where that fear was coming from. Then the second step was to think of the worst possible scenario. So once you understand where it is that these emotions are coming from, you can think, okay, so if I was to completely let go of the fear and just let them do their thing, the worst that could happen, go there in your mind, feel it completely, feel the worst feeling you can possibly feel with that thought. Because once you're there, and if you can accept being there, then nothing can get worse. Once you can accept the worst possible fate in your mind and actually be okay with that and come to terms with that, then it loses its power over you. So go in your head and figure out, if it's anger or fear or frustration or whatnot, go there. Don't hide from it. Don't shy away. Completely become that anger or the fear and let it wash over you. And really try to feel, if this happens, if whatever I'm afraid of or whatever I'm mad at really happens all the way, it will be okay. You're going to be fine and you're going to get through it. And that is very empowering. And then the third step is to make it a switch. So once you go through those steps and you really feel it all, there'll be a moment after you're done, and you'll know when you're done, because it'll be like a little switch went off, and all of a sudden the fear or anxiety is there, but it doesn't bother you. You're nervous, you're angry, you're annoyed, but it's okay to be, and it doesn't control you. And that, once you get there, it's like a switch. Now every time I go under anesthesia, I'm terrified still. It's still in my stomach. I still get the butterflies, still get the cold, weird, clammy feet, but I'm okay with it. And I tell people that I'm nervous, but that I'm not gonna fight. And I just totally release. And it's a one little switch, and it takes some work, but if you can do that, then it is so empowering, and you can really face anything. I'm Claire Wineland, and I'm positively positive.